This is our little bird. He's a little sparrow, and he's been with us for 4 days now. And I'm gonna give him some bird food right now. Here you go. Oops. I'm gonna turn you around. It's difficult to feed you that way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Feed him with a dropper with a Q-tip in the end of it to push it out. He's eating peanut butter, whole hard-boiled egg, breadcrumbs, and honey blended up. Sometimes he eats cat food dissolved in water. Oh boy. And he wants more, so I have to fill up again. Okay. Okay, here we are again. And I'm going to try to feed him again. With the stopper I refilled. I just fill up a medicine syringe and then I pump it into the back end of this dropper. And this dropper has pretty good control, so you can just ease it out really slowly so he can get some. Sometimes he put his throat up on it. Here you go. All finished? Oh, once more. Oh, enough? Any more? We're going to go out and try to get him a cage today from Petco, since he's been here 4 days. I think a hawk had a hold of him. You can see all his feathers are gone over his little food sack in the front of him. In the front of his throat, there's a food sack that holds his food. And all the feathers were gone from there when we found him. He was just in the middle of our chain link fence, right in the middle of a little link, about 3 feet up the fence. He only had about 6 inches of altitude right at that point, so there's no way he got there on his own. Something must have dropped him out of the sky. I think it was a hawk, so maybe a crow. Could have been a crow. Anyways, he was just sitting there till dusk, and his parents never came for him. He might have come from a long ways away, who knows. His parents might be 4 houses down and not know he's here. But we put him out for a few days and no one came to get him. Only a little goldfinch comes and talks to him a lot. But all the other birds just ignored him. Anyways, this is day 4. We'll see how he progresses. This is day 6 of our little bird, and he's getting a very gold hue on his breast feathers. So I think he's not a sparrow and he is a goldfinch. So that's why that goldfinch was visiting him. I don't know if it was his parent. I probably couldn't have let him go at that point anyway, because I don't know where his nest is, and I think if I put him in a tree, he'd just try to fly and fall right back down on the ground, and only could fly about 8 inches at that point. But now he's in a big cage, and he can fly to the top of the cage from his perch, and he's doing really well with the flight. So I've also changed up his food. He's getting half ground sunflower seed, and I'm mixing that with the peanut butter formula and some water, and we also put some grass seeds in there, and he's going over to the grass seed and nibbling at it. So I think he's a finch, and yep, so we're going to try to feed him right now. Come on, there you go. See if I can hold this. There you go. It's hard to reach you. Yep, he likes the sunflower seed. Don't want to overfeed him though, because he gets kind of stuffed and he'll just fluff up after you feed him and start breathing hard if he eats too much. So I've learned not to overfeed him. So his little food sack looks like it's filled up. and I'd rather feed him more often and not as much. He seems to do better that way. So I'll try again in an hour, but this is day 6. He's still doing okay. Still hoping that his feathers will heal under his neck so he can stay warm when he finally flies away into the wild. Okay, day 6. Okay. Can you hear those birds, huh? Can you hear them? Are you sitting on your thistle sock? Just enjoying the outdoors, huh? This is day 8 of our little friends stay with us. And I'm now thinking this little bird is not a goldfinch. He's still half the size of the goldfinches outside. But I've seen these little birds before in our yard that look like him. And I don't know if they're a type of finch. I tried to look them up online. If anyone knows what kind of finch this is, please let me know, or what kind of bird he is. I looked up the California bush tit, and it has a long tail, and most of those birds do have long tails. So, but I have seen these birds, and when our catnip and mint plants bloom and go to seed, they hang on the end of the stalks and eat the seeds. So I'm sure he'll be fine once we just release him in the backyard. It's hot today. I think he is almost ready to go. He flies to the very top of his cage now, and he can almost hover like a hummingbird. He's so good at flying now. I gave him some thistle in there, and he still has grass seeds, spray millet. He's picked at the thistle. I don't know if he's eating it. He's mouthing it and dropping it. They're supposed to suck the oil out of it. I gave him a piece of suet cake down there, and he liked that. And I gave him a piece of kale, and he really liked the kale. So I think he is one of those little birds that needs lots of greens and green seeds that are soft, or little seeds. Anyway, but he's still asking for food, so I just want to make sure he's well fed before I let him go. So here we have just ground up sunflower seeds and water is all he's getting now. We just transitioned him to seeds only. So here we go. There we go. Is that good? Okay, a little bit more. You're doing good. You're doing well. There you go. Wow. Is that a mouthful? Then he'll kind of get sleepy after he feeds. So maybe in a couple of days we can see how he's doing. But for right now, he's doing pretty good. He's flying well. He drank water on his own for the first time yesterday. So I put the water in yesterday, and he started drinking it. Until then, I was giving him water in a syringe, just drop by drop. He's really going around and testing out everything in his cage now that looks like food. And like I said, he's flying well, and pretty soon he'll be out there flying with the other birds, won't you? Yep. Okay, that's it for day 8. This is day 9, and the little bird has his doors open, and we're waiting for him to fly out. He's eating on his own. Come on, sweetie. Whoops. Come on. Okay, the other way now. There he goes. There he is. He's out. You're out, aren't you? And there's food here. We'll leave your cage here. He's flying up into the trees. He's gonna be okay. He can fly well. We got you here. Yeah, there you go. If you want to come back for food, we'll have food here for you, okay? See, he's already pecking at things, getting used to things. You just make sure that the cats and the hawks don't come in the yard today. Okay, day 9, and you're on your own. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes or so, and the bird flew from here up to that high tree over there. So he's okay. There's a lot of little finches and goldfinches up in those trees. So happy ending for him.